Are coin or numismatic type channels on YouTube hurting coin collecting? We're going to talk about that in this video. First, I want to share something. I just put out a video on why coin dealers can be jerks. I encourage you to watch the video, but I want to give another example of something that happened yesterday. Someone came into the shop.
And my dad, he goes up to the front. That's typically what he's the one that kind of mans the front a little bit. And if he needs my help, I'll come up there, or someone wants to talk to me. But I heard him talking back and forth. I think it was about a nickel is what I was hearing. And then the next thing I know, I hear the guy saying, "Man, you ain't going to tell me it ain't worth much money. I know better than that. I read it online. I know it's worth some money." And he was so aggressive sounding that me and Andy both got up to go up front. And I told the guy, I said, "Look," I said, "let me see." He showed me, and it was just a regular 1941 nickel. He thought it was silver. He said, "There's no clad layer on the side of it." He said, "It doesn't have a mint mark, and I saw it online. It's worth 10 grand. I know better." Well, I explained it to him a couple of times, tried to shut up on the screen. He took off. And that's a perfect example. It's obvious he watched, maybe a YouTube video on it, but the YouTube video told him that it was probably a 68 graded coin, full steps, or on a planchet that weighed a certain weight. Those details are in those videos. So I don't blame the videos. I actually blame places like Etsy, because they are definitely misleading on fake errors and things like that. And also some of the eBay auctions. And there's other places that they might get this information from, but those are the two tops.
When they're watching these videos, all they see is a nickel 1941. They don't even have a comprehension of the MS68 or the PCGS or NGC. Most of these people watching these videos don't even know those companies exist. They don't even know what they do or how it works. I mean, they just got a coin that's a 1941 with no mint mark, and they think it's going to be worth what they're showing on the video. That's not the fault of the channel, but maybe channels should reach out a little bit more in their video before they start to tell people, maybe explain that a little bit better. What's PCGS? What's NGC? Maybe that would be an answer. But my dad's 86 years old, and somebody's going to get aggressive with him over a nickel. It's one of those things where I would be more apt to blame Etsy or an eBay ad, like I told you. That's the way I feel about it, because they're actually misleading people. I mean, they're definitely telling people something's an error when it's not, and trying to sell it for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. That's your real problem. So anyways, I just wanted to add that. So then back to the question I asked. We have all these coin channels and numismatic type channels that do roll searches. You've got Half Dollar Make You Holler. You have Blue Ridge Silver Hound. You have Silver Seeker. You have CoinOp. You have Couch Collectibles. All these channels, and I don't mean to leave anybody out, but there's just a bunch of them. I mean, there's just a bunch of channels that are smaller than me, my size, or larger than me. And sometimes you wonder, and you hear things, let's say from other people, when they're like, "That channel, man, look what they're doing. They're charging people for a roll, and they go through the roll, and then they don't find nothing." Or, "Look at that auction. Look how much that stuff's going for. That's crazy, man. That's highway robbery." You hear these little things online or on Facebook, or you pick it up or whatever, and I'm thinking, so what? I mean, okay, to me, this is the deal. Coin channels are hurting the hobby if they go into the following. If they're misleading people on purpose, or giving out bad information on a consistent basis, which would mislead people, meaning they didn't do their research, they have no business talking about coins because they don't know about coins. Okay, that will hurt the hobby, because when you give out bad information, and it's not like everybody makes a mistake. Everybody errs on their video sometimes when you're trying to do all this information. There's a lot of things to know in this business. There's a lot of things to know about coins, and not everybody's perfect. Not everybody knows everything. So sometimes you might slip up and say something wrong, or like me, I misspeak sometimes. So it happens. Sometimes you don't catch it when you're editing. But anyway, the point of it is that if you're consistently misleading people with bad information, you are hurting the coin hobby. I don't care how big you are as a channel. And then the channels that are offering someone to send in money, and then they open up rolls for them, the rolls that you bought, and if you find anything in it, then you can get it. I don't see anything wrong with that kind of thing. That is your money, and not only that, if you're not misleading that person to thinking they're actually going to get something. Okay, it's basically just a scratch-off ticket, and most of them are losers. As long as they understand that, there's nothing wrong with doing that. You know why? Because that gets people sitting in front of their TV or sitting in front of their computer or whatever they're doing, or their phones, and they're watching this, okay, and they're learning about coins, they're talking, they're chatting, different things like that. And it's a game show atmosphere. Otherwise, we could just sit in front of a multi-million-dollar game show and watch Wheel of Fortune or and whatever. And like I said, those do not hurt the hobby, and that's the way I feel about it. I think that it's fun. Silver Seeker does something like that. Half Dollar Make You Holler. I'm not sure if they do it or not, but I know they open up rolls on their live feeds, and they create an atmosphere that is exciting and fun, and the mystery. And there's nothing wrong with that. I sit and watch Oak Island. They've not found anything yet except for some artifacts and different stuff like that. They've not found the treasure yet. They're spending millions of dollars to do that. I still watch it. It's the number one nonfiction show on their network. So people like that. They like to watch that mystery. So what's wrong with letting the little guy do it a little bit? There's nothing wrong with it. You know, they have giveaways and prizes, and they support each other, and they give out stickers and things like that. I think this is a great trend, and I hope the trend continues, because I do believe it is bringing more people into the hobby, even if they might pay a little bit more for a roll and not get anything from it. It's the excitement, it's the whole atmosphere, and as long as no one's being misled, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, then a lot of people say, okay, what about these channels that tell everybody that they can find all this stuff and these rare coins? You know, I've watched those videos. JB, let's see, he has some on there, and Couch Collectibles, and he has them all the time. They're always pushing them out there. I watch them, and they tell you what coins is worth the money. It is not that channel's fault that somebody watches that channel and thinks they have that coin because it's raw or ungraded, and they think that their coin should be worth that much too. They're not paying attention. 9 times out of 10, they don't know who PCGS is, NGC is, Annex is, or what full steps really are, or what grades are, like Mint State versus Mint State 68 to 65. They don't understand that. I have people come in the door all the time, people in my groups all the time. They don't understand that terminology. So when they hear that terminology, it kind of just gets ignored. And the only thing they see is that cent or that penny or that nickel or whatever it is that's worth 10 grand or 5 grand. They don't see all the rest that's surrounding it. So no, I don't think that coin channels are hurting the hobby. I actually think coin channels are helping the hobby. And not that I think it, I know it is. I know coin channels are helping the hobby. My channel, especially as far as information on the coin dealer side of it, it helps the hobby. Kind of breaks down the barriers that people have when it comes to coin dealers. That's actually my goal. It wasn't my goal when I started, but owning the coin shop, it just makes sense to do that. That way you don't feel intimidated when you go to a coin shop. And if you do still feel intimidated, then maybe it is the coin dealer at this point. Because there are some coin dealers that are not that approachable. But I will think you would find most of them will be. Because when I go to a coin show, I can approach all of them. I don't seem to have none of them. I mean, I talk to them. I mean, it's funny because I know I got a dealer's badge on, and that might have a little bit of effect. But I've walked around without my dealer's badge before I got it. And these guys didn't know me from Adam, and every one of them talked to me. But anyways, I wasn't trying to get into that part of it, but every channel has its purpose. Every channel serves certain people a certain way, and I think they're great. I mean, look, it gives a little guy a chance to run a little auction, and so what if he gets a little more out of it than what it's really worth? It doesn't really matter, because I see super chats all the time where people are paying just to watch, or just paying because you're doing a live, because they want to support your channel. They're supporting you. They're donating. So you get a roll of, let's say, pennies, and you pay double what it's really worth for it, but you know that money is going to support that channel, to support more auctions, and maybe the next time it'll be a better deal, or you really learned something and it really helped you based off of one of the videos that they created. I mean, that's one of the things people don't understand. This is not just about something going overpriced, or someone buying a roll and getting nothing but clad coins in it. As long as they're not being told that roll is a great investment and they need to buy it right now and this is the price. I mean, they're actually starting the bidding at a certain price and letting people bid it up. That's on them who bid it up. Then also, if they're not being told there's going to be silver in the roll and they don't get silver, or there's a big chance, and trying to hype it up a little bit, as long as that's not happening, I don't have a problem with someone paying a little more for something, because it is kind of a donation to the channel. It's all about having some fun. It's completely different than me going against HSN for charging a high price and telling people it's this, this, and this when it's not. It's a big difference here. It's a whole community. It's all of us teaching each other and learning from each other and fostering the hobby on YouTube. And it's bleeding into the hobby period, because people are starting to take YouTube serious and realizing how YouTube can benefit coin shows, They can benefit coin collectors in general and dealers in general. I mean, it can really bring the entire world together so that we can all buy, sell, and have a lot of fun. So no, coin channels are great. Coin channels rule, they rock. And if you don't think so, then maybe you need to close your channel down and get out of town. So anyways, thanks for watching my latest video and have a great day.